Let's talk about how to be an influencer without showing your face. Yes, there are ways to do this. This is what we consider a faceless Instagram account or a faceless account because they're not showing their face. A lot of times we follow these accounts without even realizing, oh my God, I don't even know who started this thing, but I love this account. Now, what's interesting about faceless accounts is that we're seeing more and more pop up because people are really honing in on the value they want to provide. So when it comes to faceless accounts, the first thing you're going to notice in all the faceless accounts that you follow is that they have a niche. They do. They are, because you're not showing yourself as a person, you really have to be specific on what your page is about, right? So to give you guys an example, like strength visuals, literally visual life lessons, like they just have little reminders. I don't know, no one can be 100% every day, and that's okay, right? Like little things. They're not talking about cooking and things. Everything here are little designs, little small visuals that are obviously motivational based and learning based. So if you were to go up here, obviously it's under self-improvement, visual life lessons. They're all attached, they're all tied. Even if we were to go to, for example, let's go to mindset therapy. They're another one that a lot of people love in the business niche. Again, self-development, it's all, very honed in on business, self-development, all of that. And we don't know whose face this is. We have no idea whose face this is, right? When it comes to faceless accounts, of course. So mindset therapy shows you gotta be niche when you're putting these together. Even, for example, dog accounts. We have Two Smart Dogs. And now here it says Canine Enrichment with Maria, Bodie, and Sunny, which they're saying their names, but again, most of the content here is very, it's a pet account. It's a dog account. So it is very niche, even though it is faceless. So if you are looking to start an account in this space, you have to decide your niche. Then what comes next? Okay, you decide you want to be in comedy, you want to be in art, you want to be in family, you want to do motivational quotes, whatever it is that you're going to decide to do, right? Then you really got to start to research the human that's going to press follow on this account. What does that human want? What are their needs? What are their pain points? What are things that are important to them? Because that's how you're going to create engaging content that's going to get someone to click follow. Again, because you're not showing yourself, your humanity, your vibe, you really have to be very clear on who it is that you're going after. And a lot of times, faceless accounts, when I've been doing my research, I'm actually going to produce a video giving you guys examples of these accounts so that you can see what they're doing. Click subscribe to this channel so you can see when the next video comes out on that. But when I was doing my research, I realized, oh my goodness, like they're all value-based, like true value-based. Because again, to have someone click follow, you have to understand what that person wants and what their pain points are. And there's no better way to do this, guys, than to search. Go ahead and search, get into Google, get into TikTok, get into Instagram, type what that human you think would search. And then how do you show up for that search? How do you show up for that keyword when someone types in, motivational quotes and, you pop up, right? So obviously there are ways to optimize your profile, your content, that's to make it keyword focused. But researching your audience is what's going to help you know what keywords to put in. Now, once you've researched your audience and you've said to yourself, okay, this is the type of content I'm going to go after, this is the niche I'm going after, then you got to put together your content strategy, just like you would any other account, right? And what is your content strategy? Ask yourself, okay, what account am I posting on, right? Obviously, I started today's video saying Instagram, but you may say I want to do a TikTok or I want to do a YouTube or whatever. Then ask yourself, okay, what's my posting frequency? Like, what are some of the videos I'm going to produce? What are some of the example reels I want to make, right? Are they 7 seconds? Are they 30 seconds? And this is where you really have to develop that content strategy because, again, there's 52 weeks to a year. And you're going to not want to only post once a week, right? Especially if you're posting on sites like Instagram and TikTok. Short form video requires a higher frequency than maybe somewhere like YouTube, right? And YouTube is a different place because you can make that longer form content. But what I'm trying to get you to think about here is, what's your plan? What's your content game plan so that you don't burn out, so that you can show up, you can provide value? Because again, when I look at a lot of these accounts, they've been posting for a long time. It's not just one here, one there, one here, one there. Again, unless it's a hobby and you're in that hobby energy, totally fine. If you're here watching this, I'm assuming you want to monetize this faceless account. You want to make it into a business for you, maybe part of your brand, right? So if you're on monetization, you're going to want to make sure you're organized with your content strategy. Now, speaking of monetization, if you are new here, I teach all about brand partnerships and brand deals. That is our sauce here at Sidewalker Daily. That's our area of specialty. That's what we teach creators do time and time again. So if you are a creator that wants to monetize through brand deals, brand partnerships, pitching to brands, creating content for brands, then definitely come to our next free live training, because you are going to not only learn how to reach out to brands, you're going to learn about the materials you need. And guess what? You don't even need a follower count to start reaching out to brands. And you'll learn more about that and more in my free live training. So make sure to register. Now, when you're creating a faceless account, let's say on Instagram, right? Creating an Instagram faceless account, you're going to have to decide who is making the content here. Now, back in the day, we saw lots of reshare accounts. Reshare accounts were when you would post other people's stuff and give them credit. Honestly, I feel like the tides have changed. People are more protective about their content. They don't want people resharing it. And it's because people are monetizing it. You know, it's just a different world. People are getting paid for their content. They don't want like a new account to go ahead and share it. So you're really going to have to think to yourself, okay, what is your content strategy? Or what's the content that you're going to be producing? I always say it's best if you can produce it yourself. That way you don't depend on others. You're the one shooting the B-roll. You're the one putting the text on screen. It's your content. You own it. But of course, collaborations are great. And you can always collaborate with people in your industry, in your niche, and do collaborative style posts so that you guys can both grow. I'm not against collaboration. I just say if you're going to start a faceless account, it should really probably come from within. So that way you're not dependent on anyone else in the very beginning. Now, once you got into this part, this is where you can probably start to set up your Instagram account. Now, remember, when you're setting up your account, you guys also want to make sure your username is clear, ideally reflects the niche that you are in. You want to make sure you optimize your bio, make it visually aesthetic. When I say visually aesthetic, even just your highlights, like having very clear highlights, having a strong call to action in your bio, or at least having a mission statement so it is very clear who it is that you are and the type of content you're producing. Because remember, you make a reel, you post it, people love it. They go check out your page. They're going to give a quick little look, right? So they're going to look at your other reels. They're going to look at your bio before they hit follow. So you want to make sure, for example, that your reels are cohesive, you know, that maybe you have certain design in place, whether it's like how you want the text to look on the reel or how you want your highlight covers to look. You know, really, again, treating it like a professional account, not some like random hobby account, because people oftentimes they want to follow you for your expertise and your knowledge. So design does matter when it comes to your Instagram account. Also just in general, like the fonts that you use, the colors that you use, that's all part of your own brand aesthetic. Now, if you need help with branding just in general, and that's something that you struggle with, like the design side, Sidewalker Daily does have a design studio, and we do offer that service. So we're happy to help you, you know, figure that whole element out so that you look the part on your branding, whether it's for your website or your social or whatever. Now, the part that people get stuck on at the end of the day, the most fundamental part is create the content. Create it. You gotta post. You gotta shoot it. You gotta add the text. You gotta put the caption. You gotta edit it. You got to create, right? You gotta create and you gotta start somewhere. Every single faceless account starts somewhere. No one starts with 1 million followers, okay? No one. So you gotta post. That's why you have your content strategy. But now you gotta actually go in and start creating that content weekly to keep the account alive and fresh. Again, when I show you these examples of other accounts in my next video, we're gonna go in and look at like how often they're posting, and you're gonna see people are active, because that's what like kind of makes the page alive. Now, even though you're just gonna get started, or maybe you have a faceless account and you're like kind of gonna take it more seriously, you know, you need to make sure you are engaging with your audience. I don't care if it's one comment that someone writes, write back to them. Not only is it good for the algorithm, it's also good for your community building, for you and that audience to feel like, wow, that was so helpful. So please, please, please do not forget engagement, engaging with other accounts in similar niches, engaging with other creators, engaging with other faceless accounts, engaging with the people that comment on your page. I know it sounds like a lot, but it is, right? Especially if you're trying to monetize and make this something that is serious, actually has life to it, not just posting randomly. And then once you get into the flow of posting consistently, then you can work on growth, on those sort of growth strategies. We have lots of videos here on our channel that are going to help you grow. You can start looking at who you want to collaborate with, who you want to network with to help that account really take off. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, stick around because the next one I'm going to be producing are examples of faceless accounts so you guys can see what I mean and we can really dive into some accounts and see what they're doing good. And that way you guys can get inspired to start your own. Let me know what you think of today's video. Leave me a comment. Do you have a faceless account? Are you looking to start one? If you have one, drop it in. I'd love to take a look at it. And I will see you guys in the next video.